right, you can never say the Dolphins aren't interesting in the offseason. We heard maybe a trade for a mayor from LA after the John who got moved out. Found out today Darren Waller, who's been retired for a year, has been brought in. And I'm going to go over a little bit about Darren Waller. Clearly, he hasn't played for a year. He's going to be 33 years old. His last season with the Giants in 23, he had some nerve issues, ham issues, got tired of kind of being used as a fullback and blocking. And he said, his quote was, "What am I doing in my life?" And then he retired. His connections to Smith seem to have brought him back here. They're taking a flyer on him. They basically had a trade to the Giants, a 6 and get a 7th back. And so now you got 6'6", 240-something pound Waller, who, as I said, has been out of football for a year and 33. But you got to be realistic. It's a low dice roll for maybe a higher level ceiling. Waller was still very good in the receiving department in 23. Not the greatest blocker. But this guy can contribute. And it's a flyer. And he's going to make up to about $5 million with production incentives. It's a low risk role. I don't think we should get totally crazy on it, but then in the same token, totally dismissing it because this guy was quite the potent threat in the receiving game for his entire career. So I want to get into that, guys. And, we have to understand there's only so much money to go around. They're trying to kind of make this not a tank season. We coming off the big trade with Ramsey for Fitzpatrick, and obviously Jonnu going out and getting the 5th, the deal. But there is possibilities with this guy. If you go look at him, I'll show you a little bit of film. This guy could still play, and at 6'6", well, hopefully he could still play if his body will, but he's coming in likely just as a situational player. I'm going to show you some film. Take a look at him here. You can see he catches with his hands. He's a good receiver. You see on this next one, he has a large target radius, and using his hands, that's a nice catch, and he's a hands catcher. You can see on this next one, a lot of guys will body it, but watch him get into position here, use his hands, pull it back in, and this is all stuff from 23. You can see on this one, he still could be a vertical threat. He really didn't have much around him. Again, the hands. He's not going to be after the catch kind of guy. But he had, I think, 4% drop rate, which put him in the Cooper Kupp, Dalton Kincaid level, which is pretty darn good. I think it was 3 drops and 52 targets and 25 receptions. So he's a sure-handed guy, a guy who can catch the football, and he's tall with a huge radius. And this can help us out in situational roles. It can come, you can have Farrell or somebody else on one side, him on the other, and like a 12 personnel. Or if you're throwing the football out of your 21 or 11 personnel, this guy can be effective, especially when you add in Achane coming out of the backfield. You add in Westbrook and Washington. And then on the exteriors, you got Hill and Waddle. He's not going to be a real focus. And it's going to be a little difficult for linebackers to catch him. The downside is, look, he's coming here for a small bit role, likely. He's not going to be heavy reps guy. And one of the problems that we kind of have right now, but I'll get into some of the solutions, if you bring Farrell Brown in, you kind of understand he's not going to be a threat in the pass game. He's a blocker, and it's a little bit of a tell for defenses. In the same token, Waller, you're going to know that he's not going to really help you in the run game. He is a pass option, pass threat, and it's a little bit of a tell. But if you're getting good production out of your base look, which, it could be a Farrell Brown in there at the tight end, and then your 11 personnel with 3 receivers, Westbrook inside or outside, Hill inside or Washington, and then Waddle outside, and you're able to run that football and get yourself in two-way go downs where it could be a run or could be a pass, or especially on second down where it's like 2nd and 5 and you bring Waller in, or you're in that red zone area. And say what you want about Tua, he puts the ball in good locations. You can put it up high, you can put it out far, and that catch radius and his sure-handedness can give us a few big plays, a few first downs, maybe a few scores, and supplementing the rest of the tight end unit, it could be productive. He is 33 years old. He's not what he was. It might not work out, but we got all the guys on this roster that maybe they'll be look, we know Farrell Brown's going to be a piece. Hayden Rucci looked really good till he got injured last year, and he's in his 2nd year. That's an option maybe he develops. Tana, he's been here forever. I don't know. Small guy, I don't know. But Julian Hill, maybe he develops. He showed some stuff. He just really wasn't consistent. He's now in his 3rd season. Maybe that's a piece. But the guy that I'm really interested in is Jalen Conyers. I'm going to start doing some film on him. A lot of people talked about being high on him. He's a big guy. He's 6'4", 247, not a giant, or 265, I should say, 6'4", 265. So he's not really tall, but he's big, and maybe he could be a guy who can block and catch and develop along with your blocker in Farrell Brown, and now maybe a situational pass guy. But even still, if you bring him in here as a vet presence, he can help some of these other guys. Because Farrell Brown, he's a vet, but not to the level, especially in the pass catching department, that Waller is. So it's a nice little piece. I don't think we're going heavy and deep to try to get another tight end here. Again, the money's tight. Alf from 3 yards per carry talks about it. I mentioned it a little bit too. We're leaning into this 11 personnel, and we should have for years, but we just didn't have the blocking. So if this blocking unit picks up its pace and you're able to run that football a little bit inside, the catches are going to these receivers or Achane coming out the background. And I think Waller, while he's not as, some people say he's as good as Jonnu, he's not. He's better in a pass catching department, or was, but Jonnu Smith could do all sorts of things. He's far more nimble. He can come out of the backfield. He can really do a lot more damage in small space. He's a better after the catch yak receiver than Waller. But it's these receivers. You've got almost 60 million in receivers. They need the ball. They need the productive. You got Westbrook, Washington. That's where this ball is going to go. It's going to come down again to the offensive line blocking and the interior run game. And all these tight ends, they're going to be additives. And so Jonnu wanted 12 mil. That's what he got with the Steelers. We couldn't do that. So he had to go. Now we're in a process of trying to fill in these spaces. I think Waller is a possibility. I definitely think it's a high possibility if it's situational. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't think it's going to change everything. But in certain situations, if he's right with what Tua likes to do and all the leverage and all the focus going to these other players, he could give us maybe 10 or 20 big plays through the course of a season that can shift things and maybe put us in the right direction. Still think we got to rest on Farrell Brown. This Jalen Conyers guy is really another guy. Julian Hill stepping up. But as a piece of the puzzle, I don't think it's bad. If it don't work out, you get rid of him. You lost the 6th, you got the 7th. Big deal. And the money, it's all tied into production, mostly. So overall, guys, it's interesting. Definitely was an amazing receiver. I don't think he could do it with the same consistency now, but as a spot player, it could be a good move for us. And that's what we got to do. You're not finding studs that are going to man the position 24/7 at this stage. You've got to find a few bits and pieces to work in situational roles, and I think that's where we're at. And we don't have the capital. to get big guys. Mayer would have been awesome, but from what I'm hearing, I'm not saying it's true, the Raiders don't want to get rid of him. So what do you do? What do you do? Anyway, guys, I think it's a nice little signing. Don't get too crazy. Don't dismiss it. Kind of let it play out. But there's a possibility here. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed. Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with acepread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.